everybody, and welcome to today's webinar on the enhanced C-PHY GUI software for MIPI testing. My name is C-PHY GUI. I'm the operations manager here at the IOL for our Ethernet storage and MIPI technologies, and I'll be joined later by Blake Brown, who is our lead developer on C-PHY GUI software. If you have any questions at any time during the webinar, please feel free to type them into the box on your webinar software. We do have time at the end of our agenda to be able to cover these questions and to answer whatever you may have. Brief overview of our agenda. So first we'll briefly introduce who the UNH-IOL is in case you're unfamiliar with us. Then we'll cover what is QualiPhyer and how does it work. Go over some user benefits, a couple of use cases. Then Blake will join us to provide a demo of the software. And then we'll close with a brief overview of our development roadmap with some of the key features that we're looking to add in the future. So the UNH Interoperability Lab was founded in 1988 on the main UNH campus. So we're currently located just a few steps off campus now in downtown Durham, New Hampshire. We are a neutral, nonprofit, third-party lab dedicated to testing data networking technologies through industry collaboration. One of the industry groups that we've collaborated with in the past is the MIPI Alliance. We've been working with them since 2007. As a participant, we've been integrated into the process of creating the compliance test plans for the MIPI Alliance and offering the relevant conformance testing. The software also works with our MIPI C-PHY and D-PHY reference test boards, which we've also designed, developed, and manufacture in-house, so we can sell those to our customers so you can perform our testing in your own labs as well. In addition to MIPI, we also test more than 35 other areas of technology, ranging from our Ethernet technologies up through our IPv6 testing for the IPv6 layer of your network devices. In order to perform a lot of our testing, we actually develop custom hardware and software tools to perform this testing. Today, we're going to focus on our QualiPhyer family of test tools, specifically our C-PHY GUI software. So what is QualiPhyer and how does it work? So QualiPhyer is a family of test tools that we use to test the physical layer conformance of our Ethernet and MIPI testing groups. It allows for the semi-automated collection and analysis of packet streams for MIPI C-PHY, MIPI D-PHY, as well as our IEEE 802.3 Clause 25 PMD and Clause 40 PMA test plans. You will be able to see the tool in action during a demo in a few minutes, but I just wanted to show you what the tool looks like when you have it open on your machine. So on the left, you can see kind of the tool from its initialized state without any results. And then on the right, you see the tool after a test run has been performed, giving clear indications of conformant and non-conformant results on that front. We have designed QualiPhyer, including C-PHY GUI, to be able to be integrated into your own lab setup. So we do support several different test and measurement companies. This is a list of the equipment that we know it works with, meaning this is stuff that we either have in-house or that we've worked with our other customers to gain support for. But we do offer the option of purchasing a support membership, which allows us the ability to help you integrate this into your lab setup, regardless of what equipment you may have. So even if you don't have this equipment, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll be able to work with you to make whatever modifications are needed to have this fully integrated into your own system. A couple of benefits of using QualiPhyer. So QualiPhyers allow for the signal processing for industry recognized test plans. They allow for faster regression testing. They provide a clear visual output of your pass-fail results. And they're built using the IOL expertise. We've been involved in testing for the past 30 years. And so we have that knowledge to create the reliable, robust, and accurate testing automation. In addition, QualiPhyer allows you to do much easier pre-testing and debugging if you are looking to send your product through our testing in order to get our conformance reports. So by pre-testing in your own lab using the same platform that we have at our facility, it allows you to catch, hopefully to catch any issues before you send the device to us. And then if we do happen to find issues, again, you have our setup in your own lab, so it makes it easier to recreate the issues that we're seeing in our own lab, allowing your team to find a solution, test that solution, and send it to us so we can continue the testing process at the IOL. Couple of brief use cases. So most of our customers are generally interested in that conformance validation and being able to demonstrate proof of conformance to their relevant standard. The QualiPhyer family of tools, including C-PHY GUI, do allow for that semi-automation of the UNH-IOL recognized testing. It's easy to run testing on new devices, and it's very easy to compare results between multiple devices or multiple versions of the same device. In addition to doing that conformance validation, many equipment manufacturers often release new firmware, so you might not be making major hardware changes, but making those minor revisions to either correct issues or to add additional features. QualiPhyer allows you to easily retest and ensure that the new firmware, new hardware, has the same results as the previous one, or that the only thing that changed were the things you intended to change. So it allows you to test something that previously passed and make sure that there are no new issues found. Also allows you to generate proof that the issue that you were seeing has now been resolved. In addition, QualiPhyer will allow you to test the high-speed and low-power transmitter features. So when configured, the QualiPhyer will store collected waveforms. That allows you to reprocess them at any time, and then we can digitally apply the collected transmitter data through a specification compliant channel, which then allows you to populate the results that we saw on the main QualiPhyer software. So from here, I'm going to turn it over to Blake Brown to give a brief demo of the QualiPhyer C-PHY GUI software.
Greetings. My name is Blake Brown, and I graduated from the University of New Hampshire with a Master of Science in Electrical Engineering in 2016. I am currently a lead developer at the UNH Interoperability Laboratory. Today I'm providing a demonstration of our C-PHY GUI. C-PHY GUI is intended to facilitate automated testing of the MIPI C-PHY high-speed transmitter physical layer as described in the MIPI Alliance's C-PHY Conformance Test. In order to use C-PHY GUI, the user must either create a new project or load a previously saved project. This is done by using either the New or the Load button in the top left of the GUI. The location of the new project file determines where output measurement data will be stored. The HSTX, eye measurement, and decoder features of C-PHY GUI require input waveform data. Waveform data can either be loaded from file or an oscilloscope, which is specified by using this blue toggle. The GPID or IP address of a remote oscilloscope may be entered in the scope address field on the main GUI. Starting an HSTX measurement is performed by clicking the HS Test button. Next, select the HSTX lane being tested. The dialog box is displayed indicating the expected naming convention of waveforms loaded from file. Once the waveforms have been loaded, C-PHY GUI will perform the HSTX physical layer measurements as well as producing measurement plot. The generated plots are saved to file if specified to do so by the checkbox in the main GUI. The main GUI displays the performance results for each lane. C-PHY GUI is also capable of decoding high-speed packets using the HS decode button. Whether or not to output a raw decode or a payload dump to file can be enabled by checking the checkboxes in the main GUI. Running an HS decode essentially works the same way as HS test. Decoded information is displayed in C-PHY GUI's console, as well as being stored in an output log file in the selected lane. When performing an eye measurement, the required number of UI is specified in this edit. Performing an eye measurement is done by using the eye diagram button. Multiple oscilloscope captures are usually required to acquire enough UI. The collect option tells C-PHY GUI to perform successive captures until the specified number of UI is reached. The process option tells C-PHY GUI to process the acquired waveform data. The display option tells C-PHY GUI to plot the processed time. Capturing and processing can take some time, so I've already captured and processed an example from the C-PHY generator for this demo. I am Blake, and this concludes the demonstration of C-PHY GUI's primary feature. Thank you for your time, and I wish you luck.
Thank you to Blake for that demo. Now we're just going to look briefly at the additional features and flavors that we are planning to add to our QualiPhyer family. So we're looking to expand the versions of our C-PHY GUI as well as our D-PHY GUI software, include for versions 1.2, 2.0, 2.1, etc. as the new versions come out. We're also looking to add support for the MIPI A-PHY features, as well as to expand on the reporting features available in our QualiPhyer tools, make it easier on our customers. And then in addition to what we're looking at in the MIPI space, we're also looking to expand our QualiPhyer support in the IEEE space, so our Ethernet space. Looking to add energy efficient Ethernet support, increase the number of test and measurement devices that we're able to integrate with, as well as to add support for the higher speed Ethernet flavors, as well as our single pair Ethernet flavors. Those are all things that we're looking to add support for in the future. So if any of those interest you, please make sure to watch for our announcements when we have those features and flavors available. From here, we're going to transition into our Q&A portion. Once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to add them into the questions box, and we'll get to as many as we can today. If we do not get to your question today, we will follow up with you after this webinar to be able to get you any information that you need. If you want more information that either we aren't able to answer here or you want to discuss which qualifier might be best suited for your needs, you can please feel free to reach out to me. My name is Kay Doobie again. My email address is on the slide, and you can also find it on our website. In addition, if you want just more information on QualiPhyer as well as some of the other custom test tools that the IOL produces, you can find that at www.iol.unh.edu. under our products and solutions. So now we'll go back and we can get started with our first question. Thanks, everybody. It looks like we've gotten several questions into our chat box. So starting, we'll start with this one. So looking at, are there some ways to run our tool in batch with the options for the arguments in the acquisition too? Blake, I'll turn that one over to you.
Sure. Yeah. Hi, I'm Blake. As far as a command line interface to our tool, that is currently a planned feature, and we are actually currently working on implementing that feature. So it should be in a future release in the near future.
Awesome. Thanks for that. And then I see there's a couple of questions in the Q&A about specific models of scope and other test and measurement equipment that we support. We will follow up with you following the presentation. The ones that were listed in the test and measurement slide are the ones that we've used currently and that we tend to use on a regular basis. But that's, like the slide mentioned, we are designed to work with Tektronix, with Keysight. So it'll just be looking to see if the tool will interface with that particular model. So we will follow up with you on those specific ones just to see if, so we can confirm that we will work with the specific models that you're asking about. As for this presentation, we will be sending out a video of the webinar as soon as it converts and it's ready to go out. So you should see that in the next day or two, and that will be sent to all attendees, both those who are attending now, as well as if you had any colleagues who signed up but weren't able to attend. Looking at our questions list. See if there's any others that I haven't covered yet. So, here's a good one that I kind of skipped. So how do I gain access to the software? So if you are interested, once we get through this and would like to purchase the tool, we do have a contact us form on our website to where you can actually request a quote to the tool. Then once we go through kind of the purchasing process, there will be a license agreement that we'll need you to sign. And then once that license agreement is signed, we can send you the application and the license file to install. And then from there, we'll be able to work with you depending on the level of support with your tool license. We'll be able to work with you to get integrated into your lab environment and working with your local equipment. And then, here's a good one for you, Blake. So how long does it take to run a test with the QualiPhyer software?
So the amount of time it takes to run, say, an HS test is really dependent on the amount of information in the waveform data that the tool is given. However, in my experience performing C-PHY HSTX testing, it could take maybe a minute or two to produce results.
Sounds good. And then here we have a new one. So are you planning to support 802.3 CH conformance? So that's the 2.55 10G base T1 testing. So for our testing services, yes, that is one of the many areas that we're looking to expand into. And then eventually as well, that flavor is, or I guess those flavors are on our roadmap to eventually add into the QualiPhyer family. So they are definitely on our list to both support for internal testing as well as to develop a qualifier to perform that PMA or PMD type testing. And then there was one other that kind of follows up off of that. So what other areas does QualiPhyer test? So like we mentioned, we are also using the QualiPhyer family in our Ethernet space. So right now we have published packages for the clause 25 PMD and the clause 40 PMA, but there are additional ones that we're working on, looking at the clause 55 and the clause 126 for the 2.55 10G base T, as well as looking at some of the base T1 technologies as well. So we're starting our development for the qualifier for those. Also, looking at the Q&A, that appears to be all of the questions that I'm seeing. If anybody has any more, I'll wait a few more moments. Otherwise, once again, if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and you will be able to get the webinar recording afterwards, which will have our contact information. Other than that, thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or night wherever you happen to be located. Thank you.